Hello once again, everybody, and welcome back to Sockers Overtime, your show covering the San Diego Sockers and the Major Arena Soccer League, coming to you live on Twitch, our channel, twitch.tv/San Diego Sockers. It's Season 5. It's Episode 1, the season premiere. We are here. Craig Els, Jerry Jimenez, back together again. Your buddies talking MASL. What's up, Jerry?
What's happening? I'm so excited to be here.
A lot's happened.
A lot has happened. A lot has happened. I'm so happy to be back. I know that this is only the beginning, which makes me so excited. But there's been so much going on, and so much going on today in our city that we had to do it a little bit early. So thanks to all of you that are joining us today. I see already we have a couple of hellos. So hello, how are you? Ansys619. Yeah, looking forward to the new season. We have JWatt77 in here too. Thank you guys. Welcome in. What a crazy time to be a San Diego sports fan, Craig.
There's no question about it. And as you said it, normally we are going to be here with you Tuesdays at 5 o'clock, our regular time. Today is kind of a special day in San Diego sports. We have a home National League Championship Series game at 5 o'clock down at Petco Park. The Padres are 2 steps away from winning the championship. We are all about supporting championships in the city of San Diego and are hoping that there are some clubs around here that are planning on taking our lead and making 2022 a championship year to remember. So as such, we did move the show up today to 1 o'clock. But as we will be back at our regular time slot when we get in to our regular routine, which we'll discuss in a moment, we are so excited to see those of you who have made a moment to come out and join us live this afternoon on twitch.tv/San Diego Sockers. We also say hello to everyone who's watching this on the replay on our YouTube channel at San Diego Sockers, and to everyone who even missed the notice that Sockers Overtime was coming out, but you subscribed to our podcast a year ago, and then boop, it popped up in your phone this morning. And say hello to everybody listening to the audio version of the show. Today, on Episode 1, Season 5 of Sockers Overtime, we've got a lot to discuss, but even so, Jerry, I think it'll be a little bit shorter show. We don't have a special guest this week. That was pre-planned because we kind of want to get through the nuts and bolts of what's going on with the league, what's going on with the team, what's going on with the schedule.
I would say that's the best way to start this off, right? We have so much to talk about. Some stuff we can't talk about yet, so you're going to have to hold off a little bit. But we do still have a pretty packed show, I would say. Even though there's not too much, there's enough to give you guys a good enough show. It won't be like a regular hour and a half, Craig, is what you're saying, but we'll be here for a bit.
That's all I'm saying. I'll probably still be able to pick up my kid on time from school. Nice. Here's what is coming up, though, on the show. We're going to tell you about our plan for the preseason and for the regular season here on Sockers Overtime. We'll let you know what's happened with the team. We'll let you know what's happened with the league that we know of so far. And we'll let you know about the schedule. We'll go through it game by game. And we will wrap things up, and stay tuned for this at the end. We will wrap things up by revealing this year's season theme, our hashtag for 2022-23, get you started down the path of where we are going as a franchise into this potential three-peat season. Very, very excited to share that with you. That will be coming up, a little video reveal at the end of today's show. Okay, so Jerry, let's get right into it. As we mentioned, this is Season 5, Episode 1. Every show will be live on Twitch. That is a departure, right? We started about, I think, Episode 5 or 6 last year being on this channel. But now every one of our shows live on Twitch, available on YouTube, available on replay, on podcast. That's all season long. We are a weekly show once we start going weekly. But we are in the preseason right now. There's a little travel involved, I think, on both of our sides at some point over the course of the next 3 weeks. So in the preseason, we will be presenting this show with advance notice as events warrant. So, for example, we'll probably have one when we reveal our promotional calendar. We'll probably have one if there's anything special in terms of players getting into town or league news, things that we need to chew on, and we'll make those calls as we go. So this show will come out occasionally. That's the word I'll use. I could have used sporadically from now until Thanksgiving. And when you get to Thanksgiving, that's when we will be in regular order, at which point it'll be Tuesdays at 5 every single week until the Ron Newman Cup is awarded. And that's the direction of Soccer's Overtime. So make a note of it. We aren't going to just show up and make you all hang out with us to say the same things next week.
Yeah.
And we have reveal. We'll reveal it here. As you know, we'll always reveal it first on Soccer's Overtime. So those are the plans. Any objections here on Small Council, Jared?
No, no objections at all. I think we're gonna try to keep it to Tuesdays, similar to last year, if I'm not mistaken, 5 o'clock. So you can make a note of that. Still keep your Tuesdays at 5 o'clock open, like you were used to last season. We're gonna do that, continue to do that going forward. Once we actually get into the weekly thing, right, and get back in full season mode. So for now, we wanted to at least come back, say hi, make sure you haven't forgotten about us, and I'm hoping no one's forgotten about us. It looks like we have plenty of people in here, and it looks like all the regulars are in here with us once more. So that's good. Everybody got the memo. It's not too bad, but we'll see you starting very soon, and more consistently, I guess is the word. For now, it's going to be sporadically. I'll say the word, Craig. Sporadically, for now.
And here's the thing. The best way to keep track of this is also the simplest. You're right here on Twitch. Click that subscribe button. Subscribe to our channel. You will receive notifications every time our show goes live. So that's the easiest thing to do. Press that subscribe button, and your phone will tell you every time we're back with another episode of Soccer's Overtime. So let's get into the team now. And not a ton, but we've got something very exciting in this segment for sure. Overall, Jerry, I'd say it's been a very low-key summer for the two-time defending champions. We haven't seen much of anything when it comes to players coming to San Diego, and we haven't seen anything when it comes to players leaving San Diego. Same team, run it back, run it forward, however you want to say it. A team that set the record for regular season victories and won their second straight championship is coming back essentially intact to go for that third straight.
I would say it's a good thing that not much has come out of soccer's camp, and nothing has yet been put out there as far as the team goes, because not much is changing so far as we know. So it's a good thing. I mean, why would you want to mess with a recipe that is a championship one? Why mess with that? So once we have anything to bring to the table and share with you guys, we'll do that. But as of right now, I would say maybe there are some people that are saying, hey, I see all these other teams in MASL that are already making moves and, bringing people, adding people. There's been some people that go and going from one team to another. You're starting to see that now more and more, where with the Soccers you haven't. Trust me, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But we do have some, I see some comments already coming in. We do have some good news. I would say it's good news just in general that not much has happened. So, not too much of a crazy busy summer, Craig. Low key is I think the right way to put it. I think the guys wanted to go out after this championship and get a break too, which is very much deserved, may I say, from that past season. And going into this next season, we want them to be well rested before they come back.
Yeah, everyone except Escoto and Gutierrez, who as usual just play soccer all year long and collect trophies and pop up on all these tournament teams. And if you follow their Facebook, it's like every other week, hey, I'm so happy to be a part of so-and-so going for such and such. Like Escoto he is an indoor soccer gym rat. He just keeps going. Outdoor too, he just keeps playing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can see it on their social media if you follow these guys. That's just that's how much they love the game. They can't stop playing no matter what. You'll notice that they're still going out there and playing some games, which is awesome too. I mean, they get to keep nice and warm and ready to go for the next season. If that's the way they do it, hey, it works for them.
Yeah, to each their own, exactly. Now, Craig Charles has not been doing that, although he says he is an absolute beast on the Peloton. So I am believing
Nice.
it. However, Craig has had an eventful summer in one sense. I was thrilled to be there. It was a few weeks back at Poway where Childs was inducted into the Poway Titans Hall of Fame. And it's a pretty illustrious group, actually, of the Poway Titans Hall of Fame, but filled with some professional athletes and folks who are heroes of the armed forces and above and beyond. But Craig got the chance to receive his plaque and to receive his honor and be inducted in front of his whole family. Extended family was there. And I just thought, for Craig Childs, just get used to it. Getting inducted into halls of fame and having these types of honors are going to keep rolling in.
Hey, the mustache is back too, is what I noticed. Wasn't this after the season ended? After he
It
shaved
is.
it off. It's
Yeah,
back?
yeah, yeah. The mustache is at least summer back. I don't know if it's season back. We'll have to wait to see.
Well, that's going to be interesting to follow the mustache story throughout the season, see what happens. But yeah, no, congratulations to our captain, Craig Childs. What a great honor. And to be inducted into the Titan Hall of Fame. In Poway, like you said, I mean, there's some good sports, some good athletes coming out of Poway High. And what a cool thing to have his name up there, and you see that plaque that he's holding. Um, it must have been a hot day. You see that fan there too. I was just noticing that
It wasn't. There was no air conditioning.
there's no air conditioning in there.
Oh, Callan's got a
Ooh,
good idea.
Callan.
We were trying to think of something
Callan.
to fill in one spot, Callan.
Might have to borrow
hmm.
that.
Fake mustache giveaway.
That's amazing.
See, we need a child's commitment. That's the type of thing we need to get him on the show. Commit to a mustache position. Is the stash here? Is the stash here until they lose? What is it?
What
Because
is
last
it?
time they lost, right? They lost in the Chihuahua game and then it came off. So we'll have to find out. But yeah, great for Craig. And like I said, I was at that ceremony. A couple of the other people he was inducted with, one is like the big time, like kind of rock and roll cellist, which sounds like a weird thing to put together. But like if you've ever heard the Wonder Woman theme, like she's the one that's playing out front on that and is like just living the life of an international musical star. And
Wow.
the other was like the best stunt car driver that works in Hollywood, bar none. And like I could this Google Baby Driver opening scene. If you ever saw the movie Baby Driver and some of the most incredible street car stunt driving like you'll ever see, it was this dude Jeremy Fry. So that's my little report. Kyle's Poway Titan Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
Very cool.
What we were doing this summer around our soccer social media and on our YouTube channel. And if you're here checking out this video on YouTube, we invite you to go back and check out our The Championships panels. We went through each of our 4 PASL championships. Jerry did such an incredible job producing and directing those videos. I had the honor to host them. Calafino was gracious to give us their space, the Calafino Lounge, and we went year by year, 2009-10, 2010-11, 2011-12, 2012-13, through the soccer's PASL championship seasons. Great memories from guys like Giles Farber, Paul Wright, Anthony Medina, who you see there, Eddie Velez, Nate Hetherington, Chris Toth even took part in our 2011-12 panel. So we had a great group, a lot of great memories. So if you haven't had an opportunity, we invite you to go back and do some kind of catch-up viewing and enjoy those shows. They're packed with not only all kinds of videos from those seasons, highlights, old interviews, and more, but Jerry, safe to say there were some stories that have never been shared into a microphone before that were on these shows.
Oh yeah, no, that was such a blast to be a part of and to listen to all these stories. There's some stuff that in there that you are gonna want to go back and listen to. There's some great stories involving these guys and just the path to 4 championships in a row. It was such an interesting thing because on the first one, I don't think the maybe the knowledge of what it was going to be was there. So the players were like hesitant about it a little bit. But then after the first one, the guys loved it so much that I think they would talk about it. And then people wanted to be a part of it after that because it was just such a blast to be able to go back, think about those years. And and then having some video put in there. So it was a blast. Everybody just having drinks and reminiscing about the good old days, which honestly wasn't like terribly long ago. But you guys want to go and see those? They're on our YouTube right now. The championship summer series. It was a blast. 4 episodes that you can watch. I think we went for maybe about 2 hours on each one of those things, hour and a half, 2 hours. But definitely worth watching, spending some time in there and getting to know, the stories behind these championships, but also getting to know the players a little bit more intimately and what they're thinking, what's going through their heads throughout this whole time, and maybe a story or two with Craig in there too that are just fantastic. So you might want to go in there and check those out.
All lies. All lies. Oh, it was great. And as you can see, Calafino helped grease the skids, so to speak, to make sure that all those stories came out quite smoothly and flowed right out of their mouths. So incredible stuff on the championships. Go check out all of those shows. Very proud of that and really happy with the work you did, Jerry, man. In addition, just look around the place, new design, new look. When we go to the videos and stuff, we pop up in those little circles. That's very exciting. I've always wanted to be I feel like a living avatar.
Yeah.
Like there I am.
I think I told everybody we're going to start getting more professional. And this is, episode 1 is going to get better and better and better. We're going to do a lot more videos this year, Craig. You and I have talked about this. We want to do a lot more interviews and a lot more things with players out in practice and during the games. And you're going to start getting a lot more visual stuff. Thank you to all our audio listeners. That will still be here, and we'll continue to get better as well. But on YouTube and on Twitch, we're going to start having some more content coming out, and I'm very excited for it.
All right. I'm not going to hold back anymore. You're all here. We've gathered. We're 20 minutes into the show. Here's the first piece of big news for the San Diego Sockers. It's under The Team label, so it's in this segment, and it is...
Can I get a drum roll? I should have probably set that up. Sorry. All right, here we go.
Pollo's back.
There you go, buddy.
That's
Who was it? Key Vibert, of course. He said we want Pollo and Rojo back. Well, here you go. You get one of them for now.
That's number 1. That's one down.
One down.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. Not when it comes to the Sockers, usually. But Iram Pollo Ruiz has seen his visa returned, extended for 5 more years. And Iram is back. New deal with the Sockers. He is a Socker. I think there was a number of times last year, Jerry, that we thought and even talked on the show that there was a chance we'd see Pollo playing for Chihuahua or maybe back to Monterrey this year.
Yeah.
And instead, one of the best steady midfielders, two-way presence, playoff hero, Iram Pollo Ruiz back in the midfield. That makes the Sockers a lot better.
Oh, yeah. And you know what's weird is, obviously we were able to use Iram Ruiz in Mexico when he was there, when we played there, I should say, in Chihuahua. But now he's back. He's back here in San Diego, and we're going to have him full-time in the squad, and that is so exciting. We mentioned a little bit, I said, the changes, no changes happening is a good thing. Well, this one addition right here is huge, Craig, huge. And I know the fans know it. I can see it right there in the comments. Like, everybody knows what a difference Pollo makes when he comes in and plays. So what an exciting return. And, could there be more? Possibly. We one down.
There could be more, possibly. I'll just put it that way. Yeah.
We're working on it.
Yeah, there could be more. It's still working. The other guys you're thinking of, and especially the big one you're thinking of, that visa is, it's out there. The bottle's been thrown in the ocean. We're waiting to see what comes back. But obviously, things are a little bit different. And you're starting to see some more positive visa news for the MASL. And we're very hopeful that there could be another player who was Mexico only and even featured in the playoffs. Big, we know who we're talking about, right? Big Rojo. Mm-hmm. We hope he is back. And no other changes yet, So is there still the outside possibility something could happen roster-wise between now and when the team gathers around Thanksgiving time? Sure, but not that is necessarily in the works. No other changes yet. Stay tuned. there are some interesting things coming along in between here and there. And that's the latest on the team for the San Diego Sockers. Obviously, we had to update the logo, right? You saw that earlier this summer. Had to find a spot for a 16th star. There was some argument, discussion, consternation. Where should that star go? But heading into what we expect to be the last full season at Pechanga Arena, San Diego, adjustment. Craig Charles, Power Titans Hall of Fame. Pollo back going. Had a question here from Alicia in the chat saying, I noticed Juan Gonzalez is not listed on the roster right now. Juan did sign a one-year deal. Doesn't mean Juan won't necessarily be back with the San Diego Sockers. So just stay tuned on that. No major changes as of yet. Hang on, I think I kicked my... there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, I would say don't look too much into that, Marlisha. Just, well, we're all keeping fingers crossed that everybody returns, plus more returns. Yeah, that's what we want. We want this team to be, stronger coming into the season. And just with Pollo, I mean, what a big addition for the season that will make. We're already the strongest team in the league, and I just don't see that changing, especially with Pollo back.
100%. Now let's talk about the league and the challenge that the Sockers will face. Jerry, this is the fourth time in San Diego Sockers history. Well, this is such a great sentence to be able to say. This is the fourth time in San Diego Sockers history that the Sockers have won at least back-to-back championships. They did so 1981, 82, 82, 83, 83, 84. They did so 1987, 88, 88, 89, 89, 90. They did so 2009, 10, 2010, 11, right? 2011, 12. This is my point. This is the fourth time. Each of the first three times the Sockers made it a three-peat. Actually, each of the first three times the Sockers made it a four-peat. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's take it one peat at a time.
Right. Each of the first three times the Sockers made it a three-peat. So three-peating in the as franchise is the hardest things to do in professional sports. It's the thing our franchise has done three times. We want a four-peat as three-peats. In order to four-peat as three-peaters, we'll have to the 2022-23 MASL. Let's bring them in. The Major Arena Soccer League. Well, it's 14 teams, again, up from 12. The one change that the MASL did announce, Jerry, over the summer is that we will have two conferences. Last year, it was more of a standings table, and it could still be for playoffs a standings table. They haven't announced the playoff format yet, but two conferences, 14 teams for the San Diego Sockers. And, of course, with 14 teams, that means two additions, two returns is what it means. The Mesquite Outlaws are back, and they are back. And that is the big news, I think, for the MASL. One of the banner franchises, historically one of the toughest franchises to beat. The Monterey Flash, an MASL champion, a two-time MASL finalist. The Flash are back, and the Flash are in our conference, of course.
Of course. Of course. But so goodbye Central Division, or Central Conference, or what did they call it? Central.
Yeah, it was divisions last year, I think.
Central Division.
I think we had three divisions. Yeah, now we have two conferences.
Monterey
and
Flash.
it's about who you'd expect, and
Yeah, for sure. I think with the return of Monterey Flash and of course the Mesquite Outlaws as well, I think it's gonna make it just that much more interesting. If you thought last season was interesting, this just bumped it up in excitement for games, and having two more teams added, I think as a league in general is nothing but good. And the more competition we get, the better it is for the league and the sport, and I think those are two great returns right there. Monterey Flash being one of the biggest ones. I'm so excited to see Monterey Flash against the Sockers again, and Mesquite Outlaws as well. I mean, they're both teams that take the sport very seriously, that put together some exciting teams, and really, really looking forward to that. Also, what happened?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say not just two additions, but maybe what you were gonna say. I'm jumping it a little bit, but the not only is the Central Division gone, the Ontario Fury's gone too. The name, at least.
Yes, we did not beat them into non-existence, but the Fury are gone, and instead the Empire Strikers are here. It's the same team. It's now it's not completely the same team
No.
on the field. They've added Mamadou Njai. He should be very good. I see Armando Tello they brought over from the East Coast. They've made some additions. They've mostly brought back their team. Frank Tayu is back. The Tayu brothers are back. Justin Stinson is back. So, but the name Fury gone. Not a rebrand out of innate desire to change. Turned out, I think it was an NISA team, Jerry, that had the copyright on Fury, even though they're not using it now, and decided to drop that hammer on the Ontario franchise. And I mean, okay. Empire Strikers are born. I was still trying to figure out where we go for the season opener, which is in Empire. Is that still a part of California, or is that a new place?
it's it's still a part of California, from what I understand. So yeah, we will be going to Toyota Arena in Ontario, California, part of the Inland Empire.
Oh, the Inland Empire.
You have to say it that way.
Can I call them Inland Empire, or will they be insulted if I only call them Empire?
No, I think they want to be called Empire, right?
Yeah,
I think
but I want to call them Inland Empire because that explains where they are. You know, like they're in the Inland Empire.
Yeah, I don't think they really.
Usually, the
that.
first name's a geolocator. That's usually what the first name of a franchise is. It's like, where could you find us?
It's true.
If you wanted to know where we were.
It's true.
And Empire, I don't think is a real place, but I know where the Inland Empire is. I mean, Empire is more of a concept, I think. I know such a concept was presented at the San Bernardino City Council, but I digress.
We're not there yet.
Empire Strikers. Strikers with a Y. So is this, did the mascot win? Was there a strike one?
I think that was their way of keeping the something that kind of called back to the Ontario Fury, which is Striker, their mascot, and then also Striking Fury, the podcast, which was with the Y. So
yes,
that was their way of paying homage to those two things and making it a little different. But I mean, some people love it, some people hate it. I actually really enjoy the new colors. I have to say, the purple and the black and gray is pretty neat. We'll see what the the kits
I like
look
it too. It's good.
You know,
It kind of reminds me of like a mid-era LA Kings, like an LA Kings Road kind of thing.
Yeah.
Purple and gray.
I really like the red though. Like that's I don't know, but I guess
Yeah.
they had no choice. They needed to rebrand, and so the Empire Strikers are here, and we're going to be playing the Empire Strikers, which we still have the rivalry. It still remains, and probably more so now that they, now that they're the Empire. It sounds so evil.
Yeah. Empire Strikers with a Y. My reaction initially was with a Y as well.
Why?
Just slightly different spelling. but that's the story. That's the story. Marleisha, you might be onto something.
Mm-hmm.
So Empire Strikers, different. What is it? A rose by any other name still smells the same.
Yeah.
It's not exactly how Shakespeare wrote it, but that's how I'll put it. Okay, so looking at the league schedule, league did announce, the schedule about 2 weeks ago now. The first games will be the I-70 series. Kansas City and St. Louis will play one another in a back and forth November 25th and 26th. So the first game of the season will be November 25th. The final games will be played on April 2nd, which is the night of the Sockers home finale as well. So we will be playing on closing night. We will go through the schedule in detail in a moment, but of course the soccer's open much later than that, Jerry, with their first games being December 10th, December 11th, a home and home with Empire. So when Kansas City and St. Louis are playing a regular season game, the soccer's team will kind of be assembling officially for real for their preseason. It's a very unusual situation, and one that may lead to San Diego playing a preseason friendly against Empire that's not even at one of their stadiums, and that's all they can do for the preseason. And I'm just making that up. That's not scheduled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it. Last season, we had no, games before the season started. We had no preseason games whatsoever. I think they were all just kind of within soccer's and soccer's too, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was just kind of inter squad, I guess is what you would call it. So it would be nice to have something like that, even if it was, even if we couldn't attend it. I mean, I don't know how that would look like, but maybe we should put in a request, see if we could, even if it's like at a park somewhere, so let us go out and hang out, just watch. I'm sure nobody would say no to that.
Yeah, also, I don't even know why I thought of doing a preseason game against Empire, because we play them 6 times. Here's an idea. Let's play them another time.
Yeah.
That was a terrible idea by me. I was just thinking of
That's
other
true.
teams that don't start at the same time and are close enough that you could play. But I think you're right. We'll probably wind up playing ourselves as preseason. Playoff format has not been announced by the league. We were told weeks ago it would be. It has not been. I understand behind the scenes there's, I think, maybe still some argument as to how they're going to go, whether it's going to be conference playoffs, whether it might be a playoff table like we had last year. I will only say, and I think you said the same thing last season, Jerry, I thought last year's MASL playoffs were the best MASL playoffs we've ever had.
Yes.
And I believe a huge part of the reason for that was having a one league table for, the point standings to determine the seedings and the opportunity to play a team like Milwaukee in the first round, where normally if you went Western Conference, Eastern Conference, the only chance you could play Milwaukee would be in the championship round. And it just creates a situation where it's like, okay, well, I guess it's San Diego, Monterey, Chihuahua, Empire. I don't know, and there's your bracket, and can Dallas get in? Can Mesquite get in? It's less compelling to me. It's much what we in 2 and 10s in terms of like, here it is, San Diego and Mexico are kind of lined up at the end. I'm rooting for the one league table, and we'll see what the owners decide upon.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, especially just returning into the imbalanced schedule, as I've seen a few people here in the comments as well. People aren't happy very much about this schedule, and I totally get it. I think there's only so much that you can do, and they just are trying to be as careful about the travel. I think that's one of the biggest issues here, right, with this incoming season is the teams not having to spend so much money on the traveling from one place to another. So I can see that, but it's just unfortunate because, I mean, we're going to be playing, 9 teams out of the 14 really during the regular season, and then going into the playoffs it'll be interesting because we wouldn't have really had an opportunity to play any of these teams possibly on the Eastern Conference. So it's gonna be fun. It'll be interesting, going into it.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm hopeful that with the money saved in regular season travel, maybe they'd agree to the type of playoff that might lead to a team having to fly a couple of times.
Yeah,
you can work that through if you plan in advance. I hope they have done that, and I have no idea if they have. So we'll see. Last thing, just a couple of really quick notes on the league. This weekend is the league's MASL Combine, which is being held in Mesquite. And I believe it begins on Thursday and continues through the weekend. So aspirant indoor soccer players can come from all around the country to Mesquite, Texas, which is kind of near Fort Worth. This weekend, I believe Phil Salvaggio, maybe Chiqui Luna will be there at the Combine scouting for the Soccers. There's going to be a Combine draft out of what the league evaluators see there, I believe, at the end of the weekend, with people getting invitation to camps. So one of the things we might have coming in future weeks is discussion of somebody who is a combine draftee that's trying to, earn their way onto Sockers, or at the very least onto Sockers 2. I would imagine if you flew to Texas to go to the MASL Combine, you're not hoping to get to Sockers 2. But that's my transition to say that if you are interested, or if you know somebody who is interested in trying to get into the San Diego Sockers system and be a part of SD Sockers 2, our one and only open tryout camp is November 12th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. That is a Saturday, November 12th at Bradley Park in San Marcos. And that's the one chance for local players to try out, be evaluated. The entire Sockers front office will be there. All the soccer decision makers will be there. And this is where we build the bulk of the SD Sockers 2 roster. And I will note, Jerry, that last year at the open tryout, Xavier Snare Williams came from being recommended from Beach Soccer to come and try out, made his way to Sockers 2, made his way to Sockers 1 as the backup last year. So it's not impossible. It's usually an unlikely route, but Xavier Snare Williams shows you the value of open tryouts and of the MASL Combine this coming weekend.
Yeah, we definitely want as much, great talent locally or not. Just come out. You said November 12th will be the tryout?
Yeah.
There you
November
go.
12th, Bradley Park, 9 a.m. You can find out more. Go to sdsockers.com/combine. sdsockers.com/combine. That is the way you can go to find out everything. And in fact, to sign up. There's a sign-up sheet right there. So maybe there's probably not our regular Sockers Overtime viewers. I don't think any of you necessarily have the boots to live on. But if you know somebody who does, or spread, that's the news. And we'll let you know and bring you reports from what happens at the MASL Con and what happens at Bradley Park. I am not going to the MASL Combine.
Eddie Bear might still be able to throw on some boots and kick the ball around. I don't know. I've seen him save some balls where he tried to take pictures and the ball comes at him and he just stops it, like cold turkey. It's pretty great to see. So you never know.
It's not impossible.
John San Diego too. Do you guys take
John San Diego.
Yeah.
We do. We take them to dismiss them as like unless you're a particular one that can really shoot, and then you're good. Cool. So that's the latest on the league. Last thing, second to last thing, theme reveal still coming. Let's look at the schedule now, Jerry, because the schedule came out. You've got the big graphic here for everybody watching on our Twitch channel. And let's just dig in. 20 games in conference, just 4 out of conference. And it's kind of weird because it's just 4 out of conference, but it's only 3 teams out of conference because the Sockers will go to Harrisburg on January 21st and 22nd to play a back-to-back. And then coming to San Diego, Kansas City, and Milwaukee. 2 teams that are return visitors, but 2 teams we're definitely excited to see. That's the imbalance of the unbalanced schedule here. One that will see us play Empire 6 times, although it'll be down to 4 times on December 12th, Jerry, because it starts with a visit to the newly named land of Empire and the newly named team of Strikers and Toyota Arena Saturday, December 10th, 7:05 p.m. And then right back, our home opener, Sunday, December 11th, 5:05 p.m. Ring ceremony, new banner drop. I'll just drop in a replica banner for you, too. We'll announce the full promotional schedule much later, but not too much later, but not today. But you'll get a replica banner, too. And that's our first 2 games. So, as usual, that's going to be a defining series for us. Can Empire get a goat early from San Diego? Who's the more fit, more prepared? Well, we're going to find out because they're going to have to play 2 games in less than 24 hours.
Yeah. That's going to be an interesting start to the season, but, I think the guys can get it done. So if we're looking at, this is the full calendar here, but our home schedule is looking like this. So we have, again, Empire. We play them the 10th up there, which I hope we can get a few of our fans up to Empire and watch our boys take on the Empire Strikers for the first time, and then come back here on Sunday, December 11th, 5:05 p.m. That's gonna be a really fun time. As Craig said, not only are we gonna have the ring ceremony, the banner drop, it's gonna be a great way to kick off and start the party early with the season here. I'm really looking forward to some of these games, man, especially with Chihuahua coming on the 29th. Monterrey, of course, Mesquite as well. There, I almost missed that. February 3rd, the 17th of March for Flash, and then Milwaukee as well, making a visit over here. Kansas City, I guess them too, just because they're out of conference, and we don't get to see them. You know, they're fine. They're a great team.
Bergroot's coming. I heard Bergroot's coming, so
yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're gonna
definitely looking forward to it.
yeah.
I hope he's not.
So
in here
I'll
right
down
now.
talk the game. I'll just down talk the game because of that. Only because of that. But no, we're thrilled. We're thrilled to have Eric come. I'm sure he'll wear his Lasers jersey, and that will be awesome. That'll be awesome. No, I mean I want to see it. All right, so back to the full schedule. You mentioned Mesquite is actually next up. That's the third game for San Diego. Back-to-back home dates, back-to-back Sundays. That is Sunday, December 18th. The team will then have the holiday break off. So no game Christmas weekend, no game New Year's weekend, consecutive weekends off there between match 3 and match 4. But that's going to be made up for with a lot of 2-game weekends going forward, including one that required a little rescheduling between the early draft version of the schedule and the current one. That's a Saturday afternoon game in Dallas at the Allen Event Center, which I think is renamed, on Saturday, January 7th to start the 2023 portion of the schedule, 1 o'clock game, and then an hour later the next day than normal, Sunday, January 8th, 6:05 p.m. for the return leg. So these two teams have to get from Texas to California between their two games on the 7th and the 8th. A little bit treacherous, which is why you see the earlier start time on Saturday, a chance potentially for teams to plan and get on that last flight out and fly out Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. I haven't really looked at the schedules from other teams, but I'm assuming there's going to be something similar to this on everybody's schedule where there's something that's just travel-wise is not fun. And that's just, it's part of adding two teams and having an unbalanced season this way. It's what you got to do sometimes. But that's going to be an interesting one as well. I would mark that one on the calendar, especially going into, that weekend. We'll have a watch party, I'm sure, for that Saturday game, and then you can come and watch the boys here at home on the 8th.
Yeah, we're really excited about that game on the 8th, too, for other reasons that we will talk about and reveal on future podcasts. Then Kansas City the following Sunday, January 15th, back to our regular 5:05 start time for that one. And now we get into the road-heavy part of the schedule. So, first line of Jerry's graphic there, 4 of the first 6 games for San Diego on the road. It won't be that way until the end of the season on the rest of this journey. The Sockers will go to Harrisburg. We talked about this, January 21st, 4:05 our time, January 22nd, a Sunday, 2:05 our time, back-to-back games against the Harrisburg Heat from the Farm Show Arena. And then back home the following Sunday, January 29th, for Chihuahua to make their first and only appearance of the regular season. Match, that's going to be a judge match. We know that for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things that I'm actually happy about is we don't face Chihuahua more than twice. It's a good thing for us. That's a tough team.
Very tough team.
Hey, we talked about Chihuahua. We said it earlier last season. Like, if this there's no way that this team is going to look the same if Monterey comes back, right? I think that was the conversation. They're looking still pretty. Right. They're still looking really solid. So
they really are, and yeah, we'll learn more about Monterey as we go. But I mean, Monterey, a lot of their signings, Jerry, have been new players to indoor soccer coming from Liga MX.
Mm-hmm.
MX, and that's wild.
That is wild.
You're like, what's the level? What's the level for Monterey here? I'm not going to find out to see him on the floor, but nobody prepares harder than that team. So should be exciting. And of course, Luis Jaime Borrego stayed, I believe, in Chihuahua. So, that coaching expertise that we've looked at for so long, I believe, staying in Chihuahua. So that's a fascinating rivalry. Of course, those two teams will be playing each other a lot. Those are going to be must-watch games, and so will be every time the Sockers face Chihuahua or Monterrey. Continuing, first Friday night game of the year will be Friday, February 3rd. That is a 7:35 game when Mesquite comes to town. We've got a couple of games that get out of that Saturday mix, and that's a standalone Friday night for us. That's one we're really excited about. We always are kind of bummed when it's Friday, Sunday, and we've got one of those coming up. But having that standalone Friday for Mesquite, that'll be a big game for the Sockers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really big one. The more and more I look at this schedule, I'm really okay with it. There's just a couple of things that are like, but it's not terrible. I think from what we originally saw and what it could have been, this is much, much better. So I don't know if I can say that. But
well, through February 3rd, the Sockers will have played 6 of their first 9 games.
Never mind. I just saw what comes after that, Craig.
Yeah, and then it'll completely change as the rest of the month, the Sockers are on the road. So February is travel month. It's road month for the San Diego Sockers. And it will begin with a classic midweek battle at Empire, Wednesday, February 8th, being up at Toyota Arena in the new country of Empire. And then driving home and flying to Washington, and the only trip to the Tacoma Stars all year. The Tacoma's just on the schedule twice. For an unbalanced schedule, that blew my mind, Jerry.
Yeah. Yeah, that is super weird, especially against Tacoma. Like, we're used to playing them at least 20 times each season. Same with Empire Strikers. I think everybody got used to probably just seeing them a lot. But no, twice. 2 times only.
Yeah. Well, we still see Empire a lot, but we don't see Tacoma a lot, and that's weird. Yeah. So that's a week, right? That's a Wednesday road game, Saturday road game. Sockers will come home, and then it'll be a Texas two-step week with a Thursday night game at Dallas, followed by a Saturday night game at Mesquite. 2 games in 3 days in the Lone Star State. And that's what the big advantage of bringing Mesquite back, of course, is from a travel standpoint. You have that chance to have a 2-game trip into one state as opposed to having to fly twice.
Yeah. That's super helpful. And like I said, I think a lot of the reasoning for the schedule being what it is, even for other teams, is going to be the flight and the traveling, the costs that are associated with all of that. And so Mesquite being here, I would say helps. You have Dallas and you have Mesquite, not a big travel time, and and 2 great teams as well. That's something too that I'm excited to see. So put that in your calendar. I would say, circle all of it. But Thursday, February 16th, and then the 18th. If we can make some watch parties happen, we will definitely do that, and we can all enjoy those 2 games almost back to back. It's 1 day rest, which is nice.
Next, we get to what I think is the weekend of the season for the Sockers fans, for fans of watching the MASL and following the clubs. Not the home games, but it is the trip to Mexico. It is Friday, February 24th at Chihuahua, Sunday, February 26th, an afternoon match at Arena Monterrey against the Flash. And we're still in negotiations here, Jerry. Are we going to be on that trip? Are we going to be at Calafino doing English language broadcasts? Could we be on the road doing English language broadcasts? We don't know. We're thinking it because those are going to be the 2 toughest probably games on the San Diego schedule overall when you factor in the travel and the road environment.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can go out there. I know that it would probably be easier to do it here from home and do the English broadcast. Regardless, I think we're going to do our best to do that and bring that to you guys. Broadcast both of those games in English for all of our fans. But I would love to go, honestly, man. I would love to go to Chihuahua and love to go to Monterrey and actually
Me too.
Watch those games. But logistically, does it make sense? And could we make it happen to where we can give you guys that broadcast? I think that's the most important thing. So we'll find out.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Barbacoa
Uh,
tacos?
Saturday, March 4th. Again, circle this date. Our one Saturday match, Saturday home match of the season. We didn't have any last season. And it will be the Dallas Sidekicks in town. That's going to be alumni night. I'll just tell you that right now. That's going to be alumni night. We're going to have the giveaway of the year that night. That's a huge one. Be ready for that one. Saturday, March 4th. We'll have had a whole month to sell the game. We are hoping for our biggest crowd of the year, Saturday, March 4th, for our one Saturday night home game. Cannot wait. 7:05, we'll kick that off. Then the next week, one midweek road game up to Empire again for a Thursday night game. That'll be Thursday, March 9th. Look for one of those two weirdo midweek road games to be something we try to plan a bus trip around. A supporters bus trip, a Brujos bus trip, maybe a season ticket members bus trip. Stay tuned for that. But those kind of stand out. You know what I mean, Jerry, in terms of like, that's weird. That's in the middle of the day or in the middle of the week. It's not that late, 6 o'clock. That's something you could get to and from. You know, maybe there's an opportunity there. So just, something to keep in mind, something to think about, plot and plan.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just looking at this, and we mentioned the January 8th game against Dallas as well as one of our bigger promotion nights, I would say. So those two, the Dallas games, are going to be something you want to go to. Trust me on that.
Yes.
Alicia said her work secured party on the pitch for that game. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Perfect. Well, you're going to have a great time.
Oh, yeah.
We know that for sure. All right, getting into the home stretch. And 5 out of 6 home games for the Sockers to close out the season, but the one road trip is a doozy. So here's a 2-game weekend. St. Patrick's Day, the Sockers take on the Monterey Flash. Oh, my goodness. Friday, March 17th, St. Patty's Day showdown. Sockers and Flash. Your St. Patty Day's plans are done. They're settled. Done and dusted. It's over with. You're coming here. You're going to the arena for one of the best matches of the year. The one time Monterey comes here to San Diego all year, and it's a Friday night, and it's St. Patrick's Day. Big surprises, big excitement coming for this game as well.
I'm really looking forward to this one for a lot of different reasons. Actually, every single one of our games, but this one specifically because we're working on some pretty cool stuff for everybody. So, and then Monterey, man. I mean, we're gonna get to host them for the first time in how many years? So this is gonna be great.
Yeah, 2-3 years. Well,
2
yeah,
years.
yeah. I think
is.
2019-20 was the last time. Yeah. So here we go. I don't even know that they came to us that year. I think maybe their scheduled game was after the COVID shutdown. I'd have to look that up. It might be their first time here since the semifinal. Got to figure that out.
It's been at least 2 seasons. I'll tell you that much. So that for sure I know.
Correct. Then it'll be Empire Sunday, March 19th. So that's the end of the weekend. It's a Monterey Empire weekend. Then the following weekend is also a Monterey Empire weekend, but kind of in reverse. On Friday, Empire comes to San Diego, and then the Sockers must travel to Arena Monterrey and take on the Flash the second time down to Nuevo Leon. So that's going to be a very challenging weekend, especially if Empire is back up this year, to face back-to-back Empire at home, rivalry grudge match, and then Monterey on the road. I look at the 24th, 26th of February, 24th, 26th of March. Those are 2 real challenge weekends for the San Diego Sockers this season.
Yeah. Wow. We'll see how we're doing up to that season, I think, or up to that point in the season. I think we'll have a really good idea of where we're going to be as far as the standings go, and hopefully much better idea of the playoff format and how that's going to look as well. So it's going to be, both those weekends are going to be very, very important, I think.
Absolutely true. All right, then we wrap up with a Thursday-Sunday homestand, 2 matches on the final weekend of the MASL season. People, when they schedule, why would you possibly schedule a match for Thursday, March 30th, the night that the Padres will have their opening day that afternoon at Petco Park? My answer was, you think we asked for the date?
Yeah.
Do you think this was our first, second, third, fourth, or fifth, or sixth choice for days of that week?
Doesn't quite work that way.
This is the one. And every team, by the way, is required to have at least one weekday home match for the schedule to all work out. And this was ours, and it fell here. And yes, we will be doing some things kind of like we did for Nopening Night last year in terms of reducing the cost of that and having some bounce back stuff for Padre fans to kind of keep the party going. Maybe it's the after party for opening day. And that will be Thursday, March 30th. Sunday, April 2nd, 5:05 p.m., Fan Appreciation Night, home finale, regular season finale. Very exciting as usual. We'll have big giveaways that night. A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. So there it is, the 24-match schedule for the San Diego Sockers from match 1 to match 24. And there's the breakdown. Strikers 6 times, sidekicks 4 times, Mesquite and Monterey 3 times each, Chihuahua twice, along with Tacoma and Harrisburg. We see Kansas City and Milwaukee here each 1 time. So, really 4 teams, right, make up the 17 games of the schedule. When you look at Empire, Mesquite, Dallas, Monterey, those are teams in the Western Conference, and how the Sockers do against those teams will dictate how the Sockers do this season.
Yep. It's going to be a great season, everybody. Hope you're all ready. I'm just ready to get it going, man. Like, honestly, let's go. 3-peat on the way. Let's just get this going. Let's get it started. Once we're in there, then I'll feel a little bit better. The schedule is the schedule. I think I think it's a really good one as far as like who we end up facing. And we'll see what this season holds for us. It'll be interesting.
Look at Eddie Bear saying, "Cross our fingers for a baseball rainout on March 30th." Hush your mouth, Eddie Bear. They're going to be lifting a commissioner's trophy on March 30th at Petco Park under sunny skies. All right? Okay? Put that in the universe. And then everyone can come drunk and happy down to Pechanga Arena. It's not that far to go. You could practically stumble there, and some people may.
There you go.
So, yeah, that's how I'm looking. I prefer to look at the positive, okay? Not, maybe it'll rain. Okay, Eeyore, settle down. All right, let's wrap things up. I wrote on our thing, tease some plans for the season. We've done all the teasing we need to do. We will do revelation when it's time to reveal these things. What's left to reveal is our theme for the season. And we have thought long and hard, plotted long and hard about what this year's hashtag will be. Last year was awesome since 78. That's in the rearview mirror now. I mean, we're still awesome since 78, right? Yes. Just like hashtag the Sockers are awesome. Hashtag the Sockers are awesome will live forever because the Sockers are awesome. But every year you have a new theme. We worked, we plotted, we planned. Jerry and I had meetings. We came up with a theme. And then Jerry created this video, allow us to reveal this year's Sockers theme.
Boom. And it sounds like your dog really enjoyed it.
Yes. Sammy saw the video
like,
and he is losing his mind right now. We wanted something that kind of leaned into our identity this year. And Jerry and I really worked hard on on that. And I think you'll see it represented in our graphics all year. I think you'll see it represented kind of just in the look and feel of our social channels and our videos all year. We wanted something that really did lean into that identity as being the team that we know everybody loves to hate. And why do they hate us? Because they ain't us. And why ain't they us? Does that work? Because because we are the Lords of Indoor. And yes, it's absolutely a play on Steve Jungle's nickname, the Lord of All Indoors. Is the play in the sport and was soccer MVP. And we are leaning right into that. Lords of Indoor is your hashtag for 2022-23 as the Sockers go for 3 in a row.
Let's go. I love it.
LFGSD.
GSD. It's coming up 3 hours from right now.
Oh, you make a great point.
We
Make
should
a
get
great
going.
point, Jerry.
I think we got to go, buddy.
It's about time. It is.
I got to switch it up. Hey. Oh, my goodness. For those of you that are not watching, Craig just switched his outfit. Whoa, he's completely changing his outfit. He's ready to go. He has a Padres hat and glasses, matching glasses, and his jersey now. San Diego right now is such a great place to be for sports, man. Like, just great. And we hope that you guys come along with us this coming season. It's going to be a blast. We have so many good things in the works. For today, I think we're going to be done, right, Craig? I think we got to go, man. We got a game to go to.
That's it. We got a game. We got an NLCS game to get down to, and all of San Diego is going to be locked in, I'm sure, rooting for the Padres against Philadelphia, hoping that this is a championship year in San Diego. We want the Wave to win the NWSL title. We want the Loyal to win the USL Cup. We want the Sockers to win again, of course, and we want to see the Padres take down the World Series. Let's do it all together, San Diego pro teams. Let's get it done and make 2022 a championship year. That does it for this edition of Soccer's Overtime. Season 5 is underway, and we've got so much more to do. I wonder how many episodes we'll have this year on the road to the Ron Newman Cup.
A lot.
Eddie asked the Gulls. Well, the Gulls didn't win in 2022. They've already missed their chance. They've got a chance in 2023.
We want them to win,
Sorry about that one, Eddie. We're just picking all the teams that can win this year. We're asking them to win. You're a winner for joining us here today, at least in our estimation. Thank you to everybody who joined us on our live broadcast. Jerry, tremendous job, as always, producing the show. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be back. Let's go. Let's go Sockers. And we'll see you guys very soon.
Until we meet again, for Jerry Jimenez, I'm Craig Elston. Nothing to do but win it all now. Let's go Padres, but let's go Sockers. See you later.